Yes, YouTube, welcome back. What a day yesterday. Yesterday I made a decision after making a lot of profits to stay out of the markets. I did. I woke up this morning and it was actually crazy. They wrecked four times. They create bullish order flow and they sweep liquidity. But they did it four times, you know? And that's the thing. If you know what they're doing, then you can make a lot of gains. But actually, it's gambling because it's done by humans. They pressing the buttons and they decide when they're gonna sweep liquidity, right? So after all, for the longer period, if you make a decision to stop trading after making profits on the longer period, you're more profitable. Because my experience is when I keep trading, and sometimes, yes, I make a lot of money, but most of the time I lose a lot of money. And that's the thing, once you reach your daily target, in case of day trading, you just quit. You just stop. And tomorrow's a new day. And that's why I'm here today again, because I see big moves coming for today. It's Friday, it's a last working day of the week. The last day with volume, there's a possibility that they keep pumping in the weekends because it's a special time for BTC, right? But I'm expecting a big pump today to have a little bit consolidation in the weekend, like a sort of idiot box I told you guys before, to eventually dump next week because it's the last week of the month. But we don't know. My experience is that the second week and the third week of the month are the best weeks to trade in case of volume. So be prepared for next week that there's a possibility that they will dump after a crazy pump. I want to show you guys on the chart why I think we're gonna pump today, because we're still not bearish on the higher time frames. So I think we will break resistance today. But, patience is the key. And I see an entry coming. I have my limit order already placed in the market. So I'm waiting before the big guy starts dumping. Because Asia was pumping, there's a possibility that they dump during New York time before they actually pump. Because that's how they do it, right? They wreck people to eventually fill their bags. So guys, as that said, let's go to the chart. So guys, we're watching at BTC to USDT perpetuals again. And what you actually can see is that during Asia this morning, that it started pumping, right? To be honest, I bought this 786 to sell it somewhere here. Because I want to see some level retrace before I know what I know now, right? So guys, what I actually mean now is that we're rejecting this 786 on this swing high. We're watching at the 50-minute time frame, excuse me. So let me fix this fib first. So what you see is that we actually came to the 786 here to eventually rip up, right? But now you see we're rejecting this line here, and actually that's the bearish 786 on the highest swing low here. And you can see it hits perfectly. So what you see is that once we hit the 786, the smaller time frames becomes bearish. So that's what you see, and that's why we're rejecting. But when we do a top-down analysis from the daily till we are now, to actually check if we are bullish or bearish, what you can see is that we are crazy bullish. There's one concerning thing, and that's the daily. That's we creating this this bearish divergence on the daily. So what you can see actually is that we have a double top here. but the RSI goes down. So that's a bearish sign, right? Let's go to the 3-day. Then you can see actually that we have a strong divergence on the 3-day chart. So that's a bearish sign actually. But my experience is always that after a strong divergence on the higher time frame, we can expect a liquidity sweep. In this case, it's a liquidity sweep to the upside to eventually dump, right? So there's a possibility that we will break all-time high again today. What you actually want to see is that after a giant divergence on the higher time frame, you want to see the smaller time frames also become bearish, right? But we're still not bearish. You know, we had this bearish divergence after this manipulation to come down and to eventually pump up, you know, and now we're bearish again. So this whole divergence is not valid anymore. Yeah, it is valid, but still we need to have a liquidity sweep after a strong divergence on the higher time frame, right? But when we go to the 1 hour, there's no divergence. When we go to the 30-minute, there's no divergence. When we go to the 15, there's no divergence. So that means, from my experience, that I think we will see more upside today during New York time. But you know how they do it? They pump, they dump. Look at this yesterday. They pumped, they dumped. Liquidated, they pumped, they dumped. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I've never seen this before. So many times in one session. So this is also a sort of signal for me that we will see more upside, you know? You have to remember, they want to wreck as much people as possible before we actually see big moves. And that's how they do it always. Look at this. Sweep, move up. Sweep, move up. Sweep, 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 move up. But this is so many times after each other in one session. This is for me is a big confirmation that we will see upside. But wait, you know, especially in my case, I trade on 200x. You know, I cannot afford to handle a liquidity sweep like that. So my strength in trading is to catch the best entry as possible to eventually fly up immediately in green numbers. You know, that's how I do it. That's how I became profitable, and that's how I can make a lot of money with a small account, right? So guys, as that said, I'm expecting BTC to come down to this 618, 104k or 103.5k, but I'm buying this 104k. So my limit order is now at 104k, and I'm big time in the trade. You know, for the guys who also trade on 200x, you know, just put a tight stop loss somewhere underneath this 786, because there's a possibility that they will come down to this 786 to eventually fly up. So you don't want to get stopped out before they go up, right? But you also don't want to miss this entry. So I calculate this distance to afford the red numbers here, you know. But I will put my stop loss somewhere here under this wick, because if I know if we lose this 786, we will see more downside. So then it's over with pumpage. As we speak, they're dumping now. This is not really dumping, but you know, I'm expecting a liquidity sweep before they actually go up. But till where? Till where? So let me put an entry for you guys so you know where I will enter this trade. So my entry will be on 104k, and I wait, and this is my stop loss. Something like this. This is my setup. But what is our take profit for for today or the coming days, right? It's Saturday tomorrow, so I'm expecting one giant sweep, you know. If you zoom out, this looks very bullish, right? And for this, we can predict by using the pole and take this line out and put it somewhere here to eventually go to, let's say, 144k. You know, there's a possibility that they will not rip up in one time. Usually after a strong divergence, you can expect one liquidity sweep to eventually drop down. So there's a possibility that we will go in one time to 144k. You know, it's very difficult to say, but if we use Fibonacci, for example, so we predicted this 786, so we're using this 786 also to predict our take profit. So that's very accurate. You can see that this 786 is very respected here also. So we can use this fib as a valid reference, right? So this is most likely a very accurate level. So there's a possibility that we go crazy to this flag target, but there's also a very accurate level, and that's based on this Fibonacci. And why is that? Because if you backtest this on Fibonacci, for example, this pumpage is a very nice example. If you pull your fib from this swing low to the top of this wick, then you can see how perfect we hit it this 786, right? So till where did the price pump? The price pumped till let's say the minus 200% on Fibonacci. But what did I saw on a higher time frame? It was, I think, on the 3-day. It's very difficult. It was a long time ago that I found out, and I saw that it came to this is also the 2. So let's say we go to the 2, right? To the 200, minus 200. So there's a possibility that we will come to 170k, right? So there's a these are 3 possible scenarios to where we can pump, right? So these are also 3 moments where you can take profits. But one thing is very interesting about, once we are pumping, it's not so very difficult where to take profits and when we can expect a downside after a big pumpage. Because if you watch the 1 minute, for example, after we pumped, for example, yesterday, this one, for example, if we pump crazy, what you see, was this the pumpage? No, it was here. Excuse me. So it was here. So what you can see actually here on the 1 minute is, once the RSI got oversold like this and you create a 1 swing high again with a bearish divergence, then you know it's time to sell, right? So keep that in mind. Once we start pumping, just watch the 1 minute on your RSI and see if it's got oversold, and if we're creating divergence on the RSI, then you know that you need to take profits. And you know, I'm not saying that you have to close your whole position, but just be careful. You know, use your trading view on the side and do your TA during the trade. Don't be greedy, take profits, because I tell you, even a little bit more profits than losing a lot gives you so much more and so much better feeling afterwards. You know, and we are here to make profits. We are here not to lose and not to be greedy. You know, so guys, a little bit more detailed TA about what I'm expecting that the market will do, and also some levels for you guys where you can take profits. So let's go back to the daily, and you know, I'm expecting if the flag plays out, if this flag plays out, there's a possibility that we will see 144k. Based on my Fibonacci, maximum minus 500% is somewhere around 135k, and I can tell you this Fib is very accurate. Based on previous price action, somewhere in March, let's say January till March this year, there's a possibility that we will come to the minus 200% Fibonacci. So that's 170k, 117k. So guys, you know, a lot of possibilities for BTC. I'm expecting upside. I wait for my entry on the 618, 104k. I have a tight stop loss somewhere around 102k, because if we lose this 786, we will see downside, right? We still have this daily 786 that can hold us to eventually create a divergence on the RSI, but based on this RSI and the 15, there is a possibility that we will see more downside. But I'm still bullish on BTC. You know, we don't have bearish divergence on the smaller time frames. We have on the higher time frame, but I'm expecting a liquidity sweep after strong divergence on the higher time frame. So I'm willing to take some risk here in this trade today. So as that said, guys, I hope I helped you. Be careful with trading. Don't put too much in the trade. You know, only put in what you can afford to lose, because the guys are ruthless, but still bullish on the high time frames, you know. Yeah, and I'll be prepared for today and the coming days and weeks. So if I see something like yesterday, I will make a video for you guys and I post it immediately. So stay tuned. If you like my content, please like it. If you want to see more, subscribe, and if you want to stay updated on time, turn on the notification bell, because once I post, you will get a notification, and usually my TA is based on the here and now. So as that said, guys, I wish you all a very nice day. Stay safe, make profits, and God bless you all. See you in my next video.